Marilyn's
We're waiting on tonic water.
is it 50th birthday? She really liked, if we go around one by one, you know, saying how long you've known Lynn, where you met her, and that's it. Only a few words.
Then we'll
no long
eat.
speech. Then we can,
Where are you going to start?
I'll start right here.
You're going to start.
So I'm not the longest person. My husband Lester and I moved to Phoenicia in '99 with our little Bichon Baker. And that is pretty much how we met Marilyn, because you know, I traveled a lot and Lester was away a lot, but we also knew Marilyn because we heard she was a fabulous tennis player. Right. So we knew Marilyn's name way before we made her acquaintance because of Baker or Bichon. And of course that has morphed into Sadie the poodle, who only adores Marilyn.
I can vouch for that.
Right. Leslie did try and did not succeed. It was a tough thing for all of us. But we are just blessed with our friendship with Marilyn. She has been so lovely to Lester and myself and our gals, and makes what's living in a small town in America so wonderful, is to know Marilyn, to know her friends, just incredible. I've never had the pleasure or Lester, the pleasure of playing a game of tennis with you, but just the pleasure of knowing you. Thank you very much. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
okay.
I'm
Sorry,
Judy.
Judy.
That's okay.
State your name.
Judy.
Did you want us to,
No, I was butting in and I shouldn't have done.
I'm Judy. I've known Lynn since we figured out 1977 in the Pathwork, the Phoenicia Pathwork. And we really, like sisters.
Yeah.
Like sisters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Janet, and I met Marilyn when I needed, of course, a place to board my dog, which is, I guess, how most people meet her. And my neighbors down the street in Woodstock, Buffy and David, told me about you. They're like, oh, there's this woman, and she's got this house in Phoenicia, and she boards dogs. And I'm imagining like some old, broken down house, with like a dirt yard where the dust is, coming up, and like little patches of grass and stuff. So I came up to check it out. And I walked in to these English gardens and a pool, and the dogs are running around the yard, and I mean, I was blown away. It was amazing. And so, my dog, of course, stayed with her, and we became fast friends. We had a lot in common, and I used to say to her, can I come up and help with the dogs? Because I just wanted to be in that world of your world is just so great to hang out in. So I would come help, and I loved it. It was great, and I don't know how.
And you just became the next dog.
Exactly. Right.
Let's go on a walking, Janet.
That's right. Let's go on a walk. And we've been on some trips together. We flew to Colorado to see Crosby, Stills and Nash and Red Rocks, and we went to Las Vegas with these two Brits here, and we just, she's amazing, and I'm really glad that you're my friend.
I didn't want this to turn into a,
This is
everybody.
a roast. It's a roast.
Somebody roast them.
She started it. She started it.
What is Heather play?
Next.
Bill. Yeah, Bill.
I'm one of those that doesn't have any doggy connection. I met Marilyn on safari in Tanzania 16 years ago. When she was bound for Kilimanjaro, and I was about to go chase elephants at the base of Kilimanjaro. And we enjoyed Jane Goodall's friendship while we were there at a big meeting, and got to know each other, and we departed and went our separate ways. The next thing I knew, I was looking up at Kilimanjaro from the base, and it was snowing at 13,000 feet. And guess who I knew that was just about at that elevation? But she survived.
Yes. Thank
stayed in
God.
touch and been close friends ever since.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, so I don't have much to add of what my wife Ellen said, except Sadie loves Marilyn so much that every once in a while she'll leave our house, drive down the road, go through town, and I get calls, Sadie's on the loose. Truthfully, one time the police called and said Sadie was harassing people.
Oh, yeah, right.
I can see that coming.
We heard that about Marilyn as well.
Oh, yeah!
That's more plausible.
Well, that's another story. So she goes through town and makes a right at the pharmacy, down 214, and then makes another right, and there she's home.
And Marilyn called one morning and said, do you know where Sadie is? And I'm like, well, yeah, she's in the backyard. No, she's not. She's on my front porch. And that's when we realized she was running down the road to Marilyn's house.
So she's great, we love her.
Yeah.
Sadie or Marilyn?
It was unclear. Unclear, right.
Just let me say before Jill says anything, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for including
We were invited.
Yes, no, we invited ourselves because Lynn's 8 hours older than me, so we've known each other since 1952, when we were 7.
8 hours.
Yes, Lynn was born on June the 20th. 8 in the evening is what she always said to me, and I was born at 4 in the morning the next day. So, yeah, we're a few hours apart, and we've been several thousand miles apart most of our lives, but we've always had the connection. I've always had the connection with Lynn's family, because after Lynn came to the States, her mother lived down the road from me, so I used to pop in and see her mother, and I knew Barbie and Terry and knew about the family. So we have a lot of family history going back a very, very long time.
Oh, I'm going to sit next to you. I want to find out.
No, I sent Lynn an email.
As we go round the circle.
We do not split on each other.
I'm going to put it with my bag.
The friendship has to be that we do not tell tales of what we were like. No, so my lips are sealed.
On the other hand, it doesn't apply to me. There you go. As I'm her other half, I've heard all the stories anyway. I'm Pete. Yes, I'm her other half, so I heard all about Lynn before I met her, I guess. And that was when we were in the States. We lived in Ohio for 4 years, and I was teaching, so we had lots of extra time to wander around. And one of the wanderings took us to Boulder.
Yay, Boulder!
Which is where we met.
You met Lynn for the first time.
I love Boulder.
I seem to remember, did we camp in your back garden or something like that?
And Lynn was sleeping in the back garden, under the stars.
When she wasn't smoking.
Yeah, there were a few things in the in the garden.
But as you probably know, Lynn worked for a long time in dentistry and everything else. And as I told her last night, she taught me how to dental floss. So I think about her every night. And have done since 1974.
Raise your hands who thinks about me every night.
Am I coming over tomorrow?
Were they all your patients?
No.
I'm Marilyn's nephew, and when I was growing up, I knew I had an auntie that lived in America, and I was mad on America, baseball, American cars and stuff, and I can't remember the first year that I ever met her, but over Christmas time when she'd pop over and stay with Nana, and then I think it was in 87, I said I want to go and stay, take my holiday out there, and flew out there. I remember Lynn picked me up from the airport. It was snowing, and we come up the throughway, and I was looking all about, oh, I love America, it's all great. And then we come on Route 28, and we just turned into the slip road down in Phoenicia, and all the snow was coming on the bridge. You know, the bridge that all got wrecked in the storm. She was pulling on that. She said, right. She says, don't blink or you'll miss the town. Yeah, and then, you know, for years and years we've been coming back, and you know, and we made all you guys are our friends as well that we've and it's just great, you know, you make us feel really at home when we're here, and all thanks to our auntie that we love to bits. Yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah, happy birthday, Lynn. From Tanya and myself.
I love you so much. You know how much.
Hi, I'm Lynn's friend Leslie, and I met Lynn actually when the tennis club opened.
Yes.
I was running a restaurant with a friend, and she was playing tennis. And we kind of traveled in the same circle, but we really weren't friends, you know. We just chatted when we saw each other. But I think it was like in '94 that my son presented me with a dog. And that he couldn't keep any longer, and that's, you know, Marilyn and dogs, Marilyn and bitches. So these two bitches hooked up, and we've been inseparable ever since. I mean, we're like sisters. I mean, I saw a quote once, and I had just said to Marilyn, it so suits us that we all have, each one of us has plenty of people to do things with. But we have no one to do nothing with. And she's the person I do nothing with. You know, we just hang and do nothing and love that time together. And she's one incredible lady. I was up to her house when there was just a little strawberry patch in the middle, and the rest was all lawn. The garden was bare. And it's incredible what she has created and what she has done. And she's an absolutely incredible person. Everybody here knows that. And she's very special. And I love you.
My name is Dominic, and actually, I didn't meet Marilyn because I wanted to board a dog. I was looking to board myself. And that happened in
that too.
Late '95, or something like, yeah, so the beginning of the winter in '95. And then there were many, many happy years ensued. And I met, you know, met all the dogs. I was doing a lot of hiking.
Did she scratch your belly?
Once you're in the back porch, anything can happen.
You'll get that he rented the little house next door.
I live in the house. And yes, no, I was living in the house. And
seems like a nice enough guy.
And it was you know, fantastic years that passed there. And then did a lot of hiking, did a lot of stuff, played around with all the dogs. So I was really happy about that. But then, you know, I was looking to build a house, so we built a house just a little bit further up the road. And then promptly, as soon as we had built the house, Marilyn put in the pool. It was my first inclination that, you know, she was waiting for me to leave, so as to do all these improvements, you know, I'm going, But then soon afterwards, Terry and I, you know, we built the house together, and then we had a puppy, Bernese Mountain Dog puppy. And Marilyn said, yes, you know, so we boarded our 2 or 3 days a week initially. Holly was staying with Marilyn. Then we got Baxter. Then it was Holly and Baxter spending 2 or 3 days a week at Marilyn. So of course we were spending 2 or 3 days a week dropping them off or picking them up, and then the weekends hiding from Marilyn from all the other dogs I was getting to, you know, because they were such big dogs. And then there's many, many wonderful years of stories there.
Porcupine stories.
Oh well, let's not yet. Marilyn, you know, getting a phone call from Marilyn, and Terry comes in and says, Baxter attacked another porcupine, porcupine number 5. Luckily that last one, the 5th one, was a dead porcupine, so there were only 50 quills, so Marilyn says, instead of bringing him to the vet, why don't we try to do it ourselves? So we did, and he never went after another, of course we didn't trust him too much. But the worst case was one time, it was a Thursday. We brought him to the vet. He stayed overnight. We brought him back home on Friday. Saturday morning, Terry and I bring him up the road. Marilyn's there. We let go of the leash. We're talking to Marilyn, and we turn around. Where's Baxter? And we hear barking up the mountain. And we're looking. No, that's not possible. 3 days later, 2 days later, he attacked another porcupine. So we brought him back to the vet. And the vet's like,
What is it?
you know. Yeah, he just had it. He just thought that the next time the results would be different, which is, you know. So anyhow, you know, now we have Ajax. Ajax is currently in Marilyn's house. And, you know, I basically think of whenever I die, if I have an option, you know, for reincarnation, I want to come back as a dog, and I want to go to Shangri-La. Because we all know where Shangri-La is. It's not near Tibet or anything. No place like that. It's right here in Phoenicia, and it's at Marilyn's house. If you're a dog, that is Shangri-La. I want to swim in that pool as a dog. Ultimately. And we love Marilyn. She's part of our family.
I've heard about you, Marilyn. I've seen you. I've seen you walking around Phoenicia.
Yes.
And I live in Woodstock now. I've lived all over the world.
You know, this is talking to you.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I didn't know.
Traveled all over the world. When Tom and Janet told me about this, the first thing that they said, she loves animals. She loves dogs. And I adore dogs and cats. And all animals.
Rescue animal, rescue animal itself.
Always rescue animals.
She's so
I
English.
work with them.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I'm a songwriter. I started writing songs at the age of 15 and never stopped. And that's a long time ago. And it's an honor to be here and to meet all these people. I lived in Ireland for 10 years, and there's an old Irish expression that says, "There's no such thing as strangers, only friends I haven't met." So it's really nice being here. I know Tom and Janet, and it's a great honor.
Thank you for being here, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you. My name's Janet, and I moved here from California in 2002 to number 9 Tremper Avenue, which you probably can figure out is right across the street from Marilyn's house. And this is my partner Tommy, and we came with baggage. We came with 2 middle-aged kitty cats, Squeaker and Amanda. So we didn't have dogs, we had kitty cats. And we were very trepidatious about moving the kitty cats because they had had a perfect situation in California where the former person took care of them whenever we traveled, which was quite a bit. And she was living in a mobile home, and so that was why she got rid of the kitties, and we took them in. And when we met Marilyn, we kind of figured out maybe it was going to be okay because she couldn't travel anywhere. She was stuck at home and she loved animals. And she also had her 3 middle-aged dogs at that point. And it was kind of like this karmic thing over time because we had 2 middle-aged kitties and Marilyn had 3 middle-aged dogs. And as our friendship grew, our animals that we loved so much grew older. And over time, we watched each other's animals cross over the Rainbow Bridge, but our friendship was growing, so that was what was beautiful.
What's having a neighborhood friend, Jen?
Yes.
And I also live at 9 Tremper Avenue with this person right here, and the same cats. And when we moved to Lockport Street, we realized it was a pretty friendly neighborhood, but the friendliest person in the neighborhood to us was Marilyn. And so we got to know her really quick, which was wonderful because when you're moving someplace new, we're moving 3,000 miles, feeling a connection with someone who obviously was going to be there for us if we needed was very reassuring. And I always loved dogs too. Now, we've been having cats. We actually had a wolf dog. It's a whole other story. We can talk to you about that. We kind of inherited that animal and we trained it to love to not eat our cat. But I've had dogs in the past, and I love dogs deeply. And I said, oh, my dog hit. This is gonna work. And so at first, we were just neighbors, and occasionally Marilyn would ask me if I could come over at night, if she was gonna go into the city for something like that. And I would do an occasional babysit for some dogs. And then over time, we realized we had a kind of complementary situations where I had flexibility, especially when I retired from the job, when I used to travel a lot, and she had sporadic need, depending on how many of you people and others had dogs that needed to be at Marilyn's at any given point. So being right across the street, we could both be very flexible with each other. So we really evolved the situation where I come and go as needed. I let her know if I'm going to be busy. She lets me know if she's going to be busy. And I get to spend a lot of time with wonderful dogs and a wonderful person, Marilyn.
Well, thank you. And Tommy is my right-hand man.
Yes.
Most definitely don't leave that out, or you wouldn't even have said that.
It wouldn't work.
Yes.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tommy.
you very much. Thank you.
It's great being here.
I'm Dom's other half, and I'll just add to what he already said. I first met Marilyn 19 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long.
Wow.
When I moved into the little cottage next door as well. And then a few years later, we reluctantly left that wonderful spot just to go up the road a little bit, though. And now we're in a spot where it's great because we get to see, once Marilyn began the dog sitting business, she goes past our house twice a day. And then, of course, we would never have been able to have our dogs. We would never have been able to get a dog to begin with if we didn't already ahead of time, Marilyn offered to help us with the puppy because we both work full time. So it just never would have happened without her right up front telling us, you should get a puppy and I'll help you. And that's how Holly and Baxter came into our lives, and now Ajax. So, if it wasn't for her, we would never have had that. And she is, as Dom said, family to us.
Exactly.
Really is. Yeah.
I've only known Marilyn for, I think, just a couple of blessed years. I'm convinced, actually, that my dog and my husband's dog orchestrated our entire life and meeting, actually.
Who are you?
In order. Oh, my name is Carissa. My husband is Kemp. And I think that they orchestrated me and him meeting and then starting to work together and travel a lot so that we could so that they could be with Marilyn. That's how much they love to be with Marilyn. And I didn't realize it until I came to Marilyn's Shangri-La, which is a perfect way to put it, and looked around and just thought to myself, I'm really surprised not to see a fire hydrant here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this has everything a dog could ever want. And we've been...
I live in the top floor of the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
You live right next to the firehouse.
And we just feel really lucky. Our whole lifestyle is possible, and we get to travel and work and do our things because we know that we have Marilyn to be with our dogs and love them so dearly, and we're just really, really happy to know you, Marilyn.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, before I say a few words, Annie is there.
Yes.
Annie!
Come on,
Annie and Caroline, join everybody.
It's your turn.
My turn?
Yes.
Come over here.
All right, well, I'm Annie. This is my son, our son Harrison.
Hi, Harry.
Met Marilyn about 15 years ago with the dog again. So my dog fell in love there, and so just all kind of came from that, I guess.
And Marilyn fell in love with Lucy. You had a love affair with Lucy.
Yes. So I'm not a gifted storyteller like Leslie, but
That's called the big mouth.
But anyway, I'm also happy to be here and very appreciative. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, you know, does Harrison want to say something? What do you want to say about Marilyn? You've known Marilyn. Is she terrific? Is she the best? You want to wish her a happy birthday?
Yeah.
There you go.
Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Lord. Well, just a final note to thank you so much, all of you. I'm so touched and so moved by you being here. And I think in my last email I said this is a significant birthday and a meaningful birthday. And Tanya, where are you?
I'm here.
Where's
Tissue.
Oh, tissues.
Napkins?
I'm recording it. Well,
You know,
hold on.
Yeah.
Tissues.
Oh, there we go.
Done.
part of the part of the significance is that my own dear brother and sister didn't live to this age. You know, so I feel like I'm standing here for them. And also for all who have gone before and have inspired me into their 70s. And the meaningfulness is, I'm just blown away by looking around at you all. You know,
No sweat, Lynn, we're glad to be here.
I'm meat.
I'm hungry.
This is my auntie, my adopted auntie. Yeah.
I meet a lot of people, as you know, across the fence, you know, a few words here and there, the dogs come and go. I meet a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people, but I feel that all of you who have gathered here, I know you people. I know you people. You know, you have all touched me so deeply in individual and special ways. And Jill, from 7 years age, you know, it's like Jill, you know, had a family and raised 2 wonderful children, 6 grandchildren. She went on to university, became a wonderful teacher, and then stood for council in her district and won Liberal Democrat. And Jill and Pete traveled the world, you know, and yet here we are, 63 freaking years later, still in touch. Now that doesn't speak to the power of friendship and connection and love between